Hey y'all, it's another Monday Meditations. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whatever time you're checking in, we do appreciate your support of Monday Meditations with Juan. My name is Chuck Nix, the bearded wino, and today we have a good friend of mine and another young emerging psalm in the southern or midwestern part of the United States. So Isaiah or Zay Jones from Oklahoma City, he's the buyer, the floor psalm at Mahogany Prime Steakhouse there in Oklahoma City. He's been doing an amazing job there, and he's got much enthusiasm. We're going to talk more about his enthusiasm and him working out and him really pushing wine culture in a smaller market. But also, more importantly, because it's June, and I know we've already been through Father's Day, but just like we did last month, we're featuring all mothers in hospitality. We're featuring all fathers in hospitality. And I think it's very important that we have the conversation about who we are as family people in this business. Oftentimes you find your favorite psalm professional and you never know much about them and you only see them as an individual, but they're the people that are behind us. They're the people that are at home that are supporting us, that are motivating us. And a lot of times it's our children or our spouses. It's our families that really drive us. So having that drive and having that family that you're supporting, that's what really counts a lot of times, in addition to making sure that we can do amazing things for our guests. So here to join me today for this Monday Meditations with Juan is Isaiah Jones from Oklahoma City. We're going to get him in here right now.
Hello.
Zay, what's going on, man?
Going on, boss man? How's it going?
Oh, another good day, man. Another good day. Look, can't complain because it wouldn't help if I did, right?
Yeah, roger that. Touche.
All right, so look, man, you just got out. You just finished your shift, man. How was it tonight?
It was good. It was a great night for Thursday. Like I said, we usually do about 15,000. Like I said, we're dinner only. So like I said, it's usually a pretty good night. We did about 17 tonight. So we felt pretty good about it. Minimal mistakes. And halftime, had a good talk with the staff. And like I
Good.
said, we just went strong in the second half. So had to finish strong and had some satisfied guests. So.
You can't be mad at that because it's a slower time of year for a lot of us. Because right, it's
Oh, yeah.
July, it's June. People start
Yeah.
taking vacations. They're getting out of the way, and for you guys
Yep.
to have a good quality night like that, that's great, man. That's awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. Now you said halftime. What does that mean? Now you mean like you doing like you're talking about pre-shift? You talking about or what do you say?
Yeah, I try
Halftime?
and we have a pre-shift, but like I since I'm somewhat sports oriented, just growing up and things like I try and relate everything to sports. So if I say hey, let's push through this first quarter, this is the first wave of guests that coming in. As soon as we open the doors, we got second quarter. Hey, if you fall off, hey, it's okay, get back on it. Halftime, all right, everybody, we got a little downtime. Let's restock. Do what we need to do.
Yeah.
Just finish the game strong. So I just try and relate everything to sports because that's like I said, that's kind of how like I
Yeah.
always did stuff. So I think they get it. They get it well. So I think
No,
they're surprised. So
I thought that's what you were saying. I thought you were saying that you do like a pre-shift or like a shift meeting like halfway through. I think it's
oh,
awesome to keep the staff motivated, man. No, I think it's great.
definitely
Look,
different.
I've always been like with my team. I've always been kind of the motivator, right on the floor,
Mm.
right. You'll have another manager who's a little bit more stern and strict. I've been oftentimes been the fun manager,
Mhm.
obviously because I'm the one that's always like let's taste wine, but
Yeah.
the motivating factor, right?
Mhm.
When it's rough, it's a busy shift, whatever that shift is. To
Yeah.
kind of like clap it up behind that server. I used to do these things and it was kind of outrageous, but I would be like the hype man for no reason. So that's what I called it. So, and if you were in a closed kitchen that I worked in before, behind the line, I might be in the back just like hyping you up, just whoever it was. I might be like, yo, James, let's go, clapping him up. Everybody
Yeah.
give him a round of applause, and people would not know what's going on, but it was
Oh.
contagious. People just start clapping. And
Hey, that's
motivate.
cool.
It gets them a smile, it gets them walking out on the floor feeling good about it, and then they roll
Mhm.
with the shift. So it's great that you do that, man. I appreciate that enthusiasm. We need more of that in the industry, man. We need more
Oh
of it.
yeah.
All right, look, you're at Mahogany Prime in downtown Oklahoma City. Now it's a chain, but it's a private chain. And is it only in Oklahoma?
No. So like we have one in Omaha, Nebraska. That was like the second store that was built, but it originated. The first store was in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hmm.
We also have one in downtown Oklahoma City. Have one on the north side of Oklahoma City. I'm at the north side location,
Okay.
and then that one in Omaha, Nebraska. So and then there's other various sister companies, cousin companies underneath like the umbrella that we're under. So, and we're like the top echelon essentially.
Got you. Got you. Y'all the high end
100%.
concept. How long you been there, man?
Aggregate wise, about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I left, came back, like I said, graduated a couple times, got a finance degree, got another master's degree. So just did different things. And like I said, I always came back to it. So this is third time the charms, and especially in this capacity. Like I said, the previous 2 times I was just a, server, things like that. So
sure. Never say just a server, man, because servers put in much work.
They're definitely get slept on.
Man, they put in much work. I tell the team that all the time. Like even when people come in, it's like I hear hosts will say, "Oh, just 2 tonight." It's like not just 2, it's
Right.
especially 2.
Exactly.
And that's really what it is. But so 4 to 5 years at Mahogany Prime. But you said you got some degrees along the way, right? So you got your MBA. And where'd you go to school?
I went to my undergrad university at Central Oklahoma. It's in Edmond, Oklahoma, here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And then I went to Oklahoma Christian, and that's where I got the MBA from. So, bachelor degree in finance with a minor in real estate and a minor in leadership. And essentially, all the leadership minor were just a few extra speech and etiquette classes. And then the MBA in marketing, I was just trying to, you think you know everything, trying to do everything right. So, I was trying to compensate for the qualitative side of things with the marketing degree as opposed to the quantitative side with the finance. So, but I like to think I'm as well-rounded as I can be, but I also didn't want to stray too far away from like just who I am or who I was. So it's been an interesting journey. So
I would, well-rounded, I would definitely agree with. Look, so there's this question that every server gets at every table, especially when anybody can see the potential. And they say, "Oh, so what else do you do besides this?" Or "What do you do when you're not here waiting tables or doing whatever you're doing here?" So you got your degrees and you've done the work and you're at the restaurant. So this is what you do.
Yep. I mean, even from while I was in school, like I said, I've been in the restaurant like the whole time, like ever since I moved up here. So I've always been around it. And some people just happen to have like an affinity towards certain things. And, I like to think I'm one of the funniest people that I know. And like I said, I happen to make people laugh, to give me a couple bucks, and like, here we are.
Boom, boom. Well, you're a lifer, man. And there's something to be respected about that, to be a career hospitalitarian like yourself. We need more of that. And I think that it's important that we talk to gentlemen like you, because how many people, really kind of are using waiting tables or bartending as a means to an end. I mean, that's how I started. I started off waiting tables to pay for studio time. I was not really trying to be in a restaurant, and not until I saw the potential of what you can do in a restaurant and I could see the growth. And then I started seeing people moving in a different way. It wasn't just about ownership. And then I was like, okay, there's this other side of it, this beverage side of it. Let me dig in. Let me read some books. Let me email some people. Boom, boom, boom. And you start moving on it, man. Well, you're doing amazing things, and I'm happy that's working out for you. And I hope a lot of people are taking note. So let me ask you this: what really drew you into the wine side of things? Because you're a kin. You know about what goes in a glass.
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. The funny part is, like, we know how susceptible we are to listen to like music and things like that, things that influence our minds. So at a young age, I was 21. I said I just got, like I said, into drinking, and I think around that time that Big Sean song, like Champagne and Chardonnay or something, was like just
Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay.
Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay. Yeah.
Yes.
So that song, it was, hot at the time, and my birthday came around. I was like, man, you know what? I don't think I've ever had Chardonnay or wine or anything. So somebody got me a bottle of Chardonnay. Me being me, like I chugged it. Like I didn't know what it was gonna do. It's like, I wasn't like a big drinker anyway, so I chugged it, and it came out horribly. Like I threw up, and
oh no.
Yeah, so like after then, I was like, I'm not messing with wine. Like I don't see how people enjoy this. So that's like the first like shock that I got from it. Like, oh yeah, like that's what wine tastes like. I don't want no parts of it. And then just always being in the restaurants, of course you have to be around it. So no matter, even if you're casual dining or high end dining, like you're gonna encounter some type of wine at some point. So So I began to taste, like Moscato, and I heard Moscato was good, and I was like, oh, this tastes like alcoholic Sprite, and it just started just
Okay.
growing on top of that. So
Okay.
fast forward to now, like I said, 10 years later, here now. Now I know like why it tasted that way.
Hmm.
I knew what goes into the bottle, things like that. So it's always just been fun learning, as well as like I said, just having a good time. So and the people that I've met from this, just in the liquor spirits world, drinking in general, restaurants in general, like they're invaluable. Like they're so cool. A lot of people drink for pleasure and enjoyment. A lot of people also drink for leisure and to learn. So
Yeah.
it's been an interesting pathway to where I'm at now for sure.
It's a fun ride to be on, and I got to say, people like you make it even more fun. And just for anybody who's checking in right now, if you haven't followed Isaiah on Instagram at Zay Sensei, we're going to get that up here for you in a bit. But if you haven't followed him on Instagram, you should definitely check him out. I'm going to tell a little small story, but we're going to show you how this comes back around to you. My very first instance, you talked about how you got into wine and your first time drinking. My very
Mm-hmm.
first time drinking wine, or I'll say my very first experience with a sommelier, wasn't exactly a good one. I was, after work drinking with some friends. We're
Mm-hmm.
drinking some Barefoot, whatever the hell, in a Magnum.
Yeah.
And we're having a little night party. And we were being so loud that the neighbor came over from next door. The neighbor from next door walks over with a bottle of wine and a glass. And he was angry, right? Like, you guys are making too much noise. He
Huh.
took my friend's glass that was full of Barefoot wine, throws it out, pours his wine into her glass, pours his wine into my glass, and it was like, you need to drink better wine and you can calm down while you do it and relax, and like walks away. Like this really angry somm, right? In my brain, I'm like, I never want to be this person. I don't care what a sommelier is. I don't
Right.
need to know nothing about this, right? Watching you as a sommelier, I check your posts. It's always fun. There's always some music. There's always something interesting. There's always something funny. And you're keeping it light, right? You're talking about things that people want to know about. You're giving insight into what's in the bottle. And you don't do it in a snobby way. You do it in a way that's really inviting. And I think that that's what really counts. And that's what's appreciated about what you do. What I can appreciate about when you do that is you're not just doing like bottle shots and cute photos. Like there's knowledge behind it. And
Yeah.
when right? Like
Right.
when I see it, I'm like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. He's not just, throwing it up there because it's a big brand. He's letting you know what's really in the bottle. Let me ask you this: how important is wine education for you, considering what you do at Mahogany Prime?
Oh, it's top tier. I mean, it's a heavy portion of our sales, and not only for the numbers aspect, but a lot of people really want to know about it. And you'd be surprised the people that be like, "Oh, yeah, like I didn't know, Cabernet can smell that way," or "Oh, how are you picking up these notes?" And just from start to finish, from like
Yeah,
whether it's a beginner, whether it's someone who might even know more than I do, like they still take my words of wisdom to bat, and I'm like, all right, cool, like I appreciate that.
yeah,
And a lot of people, yeah, have a little bit more money, like they've traveled to Italy, France, Paris,
right,
Bordeaux, Burgundy,
right.
and they have this like in your face experience that I haven't had the pleasure of encountering yet, but they can still respect my knowledge and be like, you know what, they did say something about that. I'm like, I know they did, I know they did. Uh, so it's fun seeing guest reactions. It's fun seeing staff reactions to different grapes and stuff that they had no idea. Like a lot of people, they think a lot of Rieslings or most Rieslings are sweet, and I'm like, there's a lot of dry ones. Like
Most of them are dry.
that's what I'm saying. Like some of the best ones are like actually dry. So and they're like, no way. And then you tell them like a few producers or
Yeah,
a region to look
yeah.
out for, and they're like, call you in 2 weeks, like. So yeah, you're right. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Uh, so I mean, it's key because you never know you're going to be in that situation where like you're the only one in the area that knows about wine that needs to know about it. So
Absolutely.
it's
So
it's
let's see. You're Dubset certified with spirits, right? Wine spirits education and trust certified for spirits.
Mhm.
You're level 2 with wine spirits education trust or Dubset,
Mhm.
and you got a certified exam coming up, and you got a Dubset 3 coming up, right?
Yeah,
Am
yep. The
I-
W set 3 is coming up. That's this Sunday. So,
Mhm.
but I won't find the results about that back till September, but
Okay,
I feel pretty good about it going in.
good.
And like I said, hopefully by the end of it, I'll definitely probably make a post or something telling people like how I think I
Yeah,
did. So
yeah.
either way, I'm drinking something afterwards. So
You ought to, man. Well, look, man. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us because I would be in study mode right now. I do appreciate you for doing this, man. No doubt. Look, man. How far are you going to go and build your wine education? What is your end game? What does it look like?
that's also a very good question. Like I said, do this WSET 3, knock this out, and then my next plan after this is to knock out the certified Somm with the quartermaster sommeliers. Hopefully by the end of the year. Hopefully there's not too many wait lists or anything like that. And then also I'll probably do the WSET in spirits level 2, and then I'll probably be good. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue learning or anything. That's just
Right.
I'm not putting any more money towards any more certificates or anything. I feel like that should be enough to suffice for credibility purposes. And we're gonna call it that. But I'm just keep doing what I can around the city. I like to be the most known or renowned person in Oklahoma City, OKC. As much as I can, just start with here, start locally, and then if I can branch out from here, just teaching people about wine. Like I said, there are a lot of great people on social media already that are touching a lot of places, but like I said, everybody can't reach the same people. So I'm trying to reach who I can reach, and we just go from there. So,
Zay, I think you are already reaching outside of Oklahoma City. And that's just to say, I mean, we met in Dallas at Texon, and you left an impression on a lot of people. And I know because there were conversations around, when we move about, because it's such a grand networking situation.
Oh yeah.
And you come from a place where y'all had some great people come out of Oklahoma City. They're doing some awesome things around the nation, around the country, playing this wine game. I like to say this because we're in small markets, right? Oklahoma City is a relatively small market. You're not going to be manufacturing there because is anybody growing any grapes there? No, I didn't think so.
I was like a couple wineries, but I mean,
it's not like high end on high scale. Same with Mississippi. I mean, they're growing Scuppernong and Muscadine and all kinds of junk. Nothing crazy. But in places like where we are, it's important that we really accentuate the consumer market. We can distribute properly and well. We've been having strong talks about ABC laws and how their restrictive nature. What are the ABC's laws like in Oklahoma? Are they really restrictive? Are they more relaxed? Tell me a little bit about that. Any challenges?
Yeah, they starting to get a little bit more lax. I know recently they just got into like you can do some liquor to go, wine to go, things like that. Because certain places.
COVID? Are those laws from COVID?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like there wasn't anything like that before COVID, and it's interesting that they adapted to that now. But a lot of companies still aren't safe with accepting that liability and things like that. So it's still a restaurant's choice if they want to do that or not. But most places, like I said, they're packing up margaritas and things to go. Wine wise, like I said, just every place. A lot of producers have their certain hot spots where they operate the most efficiently. Like I said, Titus, they're one of our, I guess, Oklahoma's number one places to, then wine to. So I'm like, all right, cool. That was interesting. I had no idea. But outside of that, I mean, exporting or importing to here from, Burgundy, anywhere, France in general, like, it's hard to get stuff past the coast. Like,
Are y'all doing any direct to consumer shipping there?
No.
No direct to consumer. And you can do some to go with some limited. It's limited on to go, but what about delivery?
Delivery, yeah. So they open up DoorDash, but DoorDash they don't take liquor or wine or anything from us.
Just beer.
No, not beer either.
So there is no delivery for alcohol.
No, yeah, unless they have to come pick it up themselves if they want to, get a bottle of wine or something.
Wow. It's well, and it's interesting we talk about this because the talk that we had a very spirited conversation here in Mississippi among some of the lead professionals here. And the conversation was about restrictive liquor laws and the reason behind it being the risk of drunk driving accidents or over drinking.
Yeah.
So there's a study out, and I'll send it to you. It'd be really interesting for you to see the stats.
Mhm.
In states that had any sort of allowances over the pandemic, um, that where they allowed people to do delivery or to go alcohol, you would expect for alcohol driving accidents to increase. In states where they had some allowances to almost zero restriction, there were lowered percentages of car crashes and drunk alcohol accidents. In places where there was more restriction, there were more accidents and more cases of alcohol abuse reported. Now, there's certainly a lot more details to those stats, and it's not to say that, oh, if you allow for alcohol restriction to go down, that people are going to be safer. It's not to say that at all. What it's saying is less restrictive laws don't have the effect that people think they're going to keep people safer. Less restrictive alcohol laws do not make people or put them in more danger from alcohol, car driving accidents, or alcohol abuse.
Mhm.
And I think it's important in our small markets, people like you, like me, we really get out there, we boost wine education, we talk about it to create more of a demand for these legislators and people out there to see, hey, it's a great tax revenue booster. It can help tourism, all kinds of things. Let me ask you, what exactly is your purpose in wine business?
You said it earlier. I just want to make it more approachable and fun. Like I said, a lot of Psalms or wine people I've encountered up to this point, like we just don't have like the same vibe. Like it doesn't, what they're saying isn't connecting to me. Like they just like they just seem like real nerdy, real geeky, real lame. Like they don't want to make an appropriate joke. They have horrible timing if they make a joke. They're just like socially awkward. Like, how are you socially awkward? Like, you have to talk to people, right? So I just want to. And I'm not like the coolest person in the world by any means, but like I feel like I can hold a conversation. And if there's an awkward aura amongst the space, like say something. Like, you don't got to sit here and embrace it, but I just want to be that fun, cool, normal person that like actually knows like about wine. Like, I'm not out here trying to be super Psalm or anything like that. I just want to be the cool wine dude, like that people can be all like, hey, yeah, let's go ask Zay about this or something. And like we can still go work out afterwards, and I'm not gonna be like doing, I don't know, like 2-pound dumbbells. Like I don't know. Like, we can go play basketball afterwards, and I'm not gonna airball everything. Like, I'm a normal person. Like, I do stuff too. I just also happen to know more than the average bear about wine. So I don't
you definitely make it approachable. I remember when we met at Texom in Dallas. I remember I walked in the room. I don't remember, were we polishing glasses or were we just drinking wine? Because Jim Clark from South Africa was in there. I don't remember what.
I think we're just drinking wine. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
We were just drinking wine. I just walked in. And so here's the thing, and I want y'all to know this. All right, so let me do this. All right, if you come to Bravo in Highland Village in Jackson, you'll find me working the floor. I like to think that I'm one of the better dressed Psalms in Mississippi. I walked in this room, and I saw this brother who was dressed way better than I was going to be dressed. And he stayed fresh the entire weekend at Texom. So I said, I got to meet this dude. Because, I mean, if you're going to be fresher than me, I at least need to be standing next to you. So at least my fresh matches your fresh. And it's not just competition in the room. So, but that's what it was, though. Like, I met you, and, it was almost like this automatic connect, right? You meet people in the room. And also, let's just be clear and let's just talk about this, because I think it's necessary. When Black people are in a room, not even just talking about wine professionals, when Black people are in a room and there's not a lot of us, there's kind of like that automatic, you seen the show Blackish, the head nod, right? You see the Black person in the room and there's the automatic head nod. It's like, yo, see you. You see me, I see you. And so there was that. And then you were fresh. So then I was like, all right, let me just catch up. So I saw a couple of people I knew in the room. A couple people said hi, but it was almost like a beeline. Yo, what's up? What's up? What we doing? All right, bet. And from then on, that was the weekend. That was the weekend from there. So your approachability is key, man. I think you've already accomplished that. I think your education in wine and beverage is going to really push that agenda, and it's really going to be an example for a lot of young brothers coming up. I think it's important that we highlight you. So that's why we're here. All right, so you ball, man. How long you been balling?
Oh man, I probably say like age 4. I mean, I
Okay.
feel like I've always been like pretty legit. Like my dad, my brother, they always work with me. First grade, I remember winning a lot of YMCA little Mighty Mike games. Going hard in that. So
Yeah.
working my way up from there to city championships and fifth and sixth grade state championships. Like friends till this day, like still remember. It was the fifth and sixth grade city championships and in Lawton, and I had got fouled like with like 1 or 2 seconds left, and we were down by 1, and I hit both free throws. So like it
Bing.
was like to win, yeah, it was like bang, like NBA, like bang. So uh, did that, and it just love at first sight. It's like the main thing that I do, and I just happen to be like pretty athletic and just athletically gifted. I'm not a LeBron James or anything, but I'm like faster than like the local crackhead. So uh, just like little stuff like that. But yeah, like I'm definitely like not the sorriest person on the court if
Nah,
I go to the YMCA. So
nah,
uh,
man. I seen you put in work. I seen you put in work on the court with the vest and the rose knot. I seen you put in work with the Eldridge knot and getting busy on haircut day. We seen it all.
yeah,
Look, I'm
haircut
telling
day is
y'all,
a real thing.
if y'all don't know, really get on Instagram, get to Zay Sensei, and man, smile right quick, man. It's a good way to start your day off, man. Or in the evening, see what he's talking about, what he's drinking for the day. It's a real treat. Let me ask you, did you play competitively coming up?
Yeah, I played in junior high, played a little bit in high school, and quite frankly, I'll be the first person to tell you, like I rode the bench my senior year. It was horrible. It was
Really?
horrible. Very traumatic experience for me. Like
No.
I would never live it down. But I mean, most of my friends still like agree. They're like, "Yeah, bro, like you should definitely get in some OPT." Like that's cool. That's all the validation I need,
Good.
and that's why I continue to talk trash today to people that I
Yeah.
shouldn't be talking trash to.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. How many of
but
those
yeah,
guys that were playing are actually still playing right now?
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're legit. I'll probably say, okay, I lied. They're probably like two of them. Probably
Right.
like
No,
two
that's
of
how
them.
it works. That's how it works. Oh yeah, y'all ain't gonna be doing this much longer. You got a small percentage of people that are continuing to do it, and then it's the other guys that are really pushing forward. But I mean, you've done other amazing things. So
Yeah.
look, you're a baller. You are an athlete. You are a psalm. You're a businessman. You got your MBA in business and finance. There's, I'm sure, a lot of wisdom that you can offer a lot of young brothers that you see coming through. Do you ever find yourself with opportunity to kind of give any sort of mentorship or to guys that are working in the restaurant? You see young brothers come through. You ever find an opportunity to do that with them?
Oh yeah. There's a few people that are on our staff right now that, like I said, they ask me for advice. I'll do that as a recommendation for them. Anything if it's personal, family, professional, or work related, like they know that they can come to me and, like I said, we can have a real conversation about like what they should do next, or like just help talk things out. So they're about, they go from age probably 5 years younger than me all the way down to 9 or 10 years younger than me, and just seeing them come up, the things that I did, like everybody try and pass down your knowledge. Hopefully somebody listens. If not, you can't say you didn't try.
Yeah,
Uh, and I think that's where the true, like the real wisdom lies, is like you got to try. Like I know a lot of people are like, well, it's not going to work anyway. Like you don't know. It's not up to you to decide. Like you still got to try. You still got to put your information out there. Give them the knowledge and opportunity to get it wrong. Like you can't just like not say anything. So that's kind of just what I try and do, is let them know as much as I can when I can, and let them know if they messed up. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have did that. So, uh, but any opportunity I usually get, like I said, it is. I think the juice is worth the squeeze in all regards. Whenever it's about mentorship or taking someone under your wing, or even just you or myself finding like a mentor or someone that I can like bounce things off of without
yeah,
having like a biased opinion or anything. So
yeah.
definitely attest to that.
That community is very important, man. To have people that you can trust, to look up to or look next to, it's very important. I mean, I got into this business and I didn't know anybody. I'm in a small market. There's nobody around.
Yeah.
For me, I just started sending ambitious emails out to people. I was like people that had notoriety, that had really no reason to contact me back. It was like, who's this guy in Memphis?
Yeah.
And they were responding back. It's really important to have that community of people, and thankfully they did, because now I can offer that same wisdom to others that come up, and I don't say under me, but with me or behind me or
Right.
coming up with me. So that's how I look at it. You're valued, man. It's really important that what you're doing, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. In our many conversations, I knew that I was like, I got to get my man Zay on here, because what you're doing, what you're doing is very important. It's very key and clutch. We talk about moms. We need to talk about dads. We talk about people that are single doing this. We need to talk about people that have families that do this, because each individual has their own set of challenges. Speaking of those challenges, you are a dad. How many kids?
2 kids. Yeah,
Two
girl dad,
kids.
2 girls.
You
One
got two
seven and a
girls.
half, and then one other one's 1.5.
Nice. Nice. All right, 7.5 and 1.5, two girls. All
Yeah.
right. Those that know me know I'm a girl dad also.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
got I got
Okay.
I got three girls.
Oh, yeah. You get it.
uh
You already know.
16, 14, and 5. So
Yeah.
yeah, we know about the gap. We know about having girls out here. We know what's going on. Tell me about that, man. How you like being a girl dad?
I mean, it's fun. It's definitely different. Obviously, there's no way of anticipating being a parent. Like no matter how many books you read, like there's no there's no like right answer or anything. So it's definitely been a interesting journey, learning a lot about them, about myself, our family dynamics, genetics in general. Like science is crazy. Like they really
Uh-huh.
look like me. Like they
You
really
know what
look
I'm
like the
saying?
mom. Like that's crazy.
Let me ask you this: do they in kids? You said genetics. They pick up our traits. They pick up the way you look. Your kids, they see you drinking wine. They see you studying wine. Do any of them pick up any habits, any traits?
Yeah, the 7.5-year-old, she says it all the time. Like she can recognize, like, are you drinking the Merlot again? Or like she can definitely mention like a couple grapes that she's seen me say or read or things like that. Or oh, that's a white wine. Like yeah, so far you're right. That is a white wine. Good. And she can like sometimes I let her sniff it. Like don't
Yeah,
call the cops on me.
yeah.
Um, and she'll be all like, it smells like green apple. It smells like pear. I'm like, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So even if it's a kind of a pseudo phase that she might be going through, like
Yeah.
maybe subconsciously, like something's like being rooted and we just don't know it yet. But it's definitely fun to witness and see.
The kids are amazing. I found my daughter one time. You study, right? We put our books out and they're there. Like 6 books out or whatever. And I'll come home one night and my daughter is sitting at the dining room table in front of my books. And she's like, Daddy, look. And she's like narrating what she thinks the wine book is talking about. And she's like, this grape is grown in the mountains and it is great for making wine. Yeah. And she's like telling the story. I wish I had this video. I'd show it, but it is outstanding. But the kids, they pick up what we're doing, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's really cool and important, right? As dads doing this with our daughters, because in our country we don't really offer the information or the knowledge or expect our kids to follow in the footsteps with an alcohol business
Right.
because of the nature of our government and the nature of our society here, right?
Yeah.
Prohibition has it in our brains that alcohol is not for kids or the business is not for kids.
Mm.
But quite frankly, I think we really got to start talking about it, man. I want one of my girls to take up the mantle, and be like, yo, I'm a Psalm too. You know how proud I would be?
That'd be pretty dope. That would be pretty dope.
It'd be incredibly dope, man. Let me ask you this. Has fatherhood changed you as far as your aspirations go?
Not necessarily. I mean, that was one thing. Even though we found out we're having our first, like I was something I didn't want to make an excuse for or anything. Like, like kids are gonna completely change my trajectory, anything like that. Like I still
Yeah.
want to do the things I want to do. Like at some point, I wanted to, try out for like the G League and things like that, or the D League at the time, 7 or 8 years ago. I really felt like I had a chance to at least like, compete. And, like she was born by this time and like it didn't change like me wanting to train or practice or anything like that. Like I still made time for it and like I said, still made time for her. So I wouldn't necessarily say that. if anything, it just teaches you how to think differently about, you know, things that you didn't think you had to think differently about, you know, like I said, just jobs. Like, is it just a job or is it a career? Like, at what point does it become like a career? Does the
Mhm.
kid make it, make you think that way, or is like everything a transitional job opportunity? So it's just encourage you to think differently. So I'll probably say that's what fatherhood has done.
You touched on something very important. You said you were playing ball. You're thinking about going out for the league, and then you had kids, but it didn't stop you from still training and still working towards that aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is huge. A lot of times, we as parents, especially when we have children a little bit younger, right? We start saying, "Oh, I can't do things now," or "Now
Oh yeah.
I can't." I think that's really kind of an old school way of thinking, right? Our granddads and our dads and our older parents, they might say, "Oh, you got kids now, you can't be doing all this other stuff,"
Right.
right? But
Oh yeah.
not to say that you can't. It's just maybe you have to maneuver different.
Mm-hmm.
There's a drive that is necessary to be paid attention to there. How many, let's be clear, how many moms out there, would it be if a mom said, "Oh, nope, I got pregnant, I can't do things"? You can't say that.
Right.
So like as a father, as a parent, you have to say, you know what? Now I got a child, it makes me go harder. Let me drive hard at it. I was gonna do just this. Now I gotta boom boom, I gotta double up and hit it
Mm-hmm.
harder. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's the goal right there, man. I like that your kids really motivated you to push further. I think that's what they're supposed to do, and
Oh
you're
yeah.
supposed to be there for them. Look, work-life balance is real important. What do you do? What do you do to maintain that work-life balance for you?
I mean, even in college, like I never used a planner. I never really set like alarms or anything like that. The
Okay,
only alarm like I would really
organized.
ever set is just like to wake up, like. But besides that, I never, if I had a deadline or teacher gave me a deadline, like I make sure I got it done before then. But I really never wrote anything down, and that still translates into like what I do now. Like
Hmm.
all the time I work out and make time for things that I want to do and things like that. Only thing that really changed was just my focus and consideration of like what time I had. So the time that I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm really not doing anything between like 7 and 9. I guess that could be my gym time.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm really not doing anything between 9 and 11. I guess that can be my study time. Little
sure.
stuff like that. Just filling those time slots mentally. I just had to flip the switch to be like, that's what I'm doing.
You're
So
disciplined.
I I mean, I definitely still think I'm a lazy
No,
rascal sometimes, but I do like to think I get stuff done and things done, and like I said, it's a almost an egotistical kind of thing. Like I want to make sure I get it done for like me, like not necessarily for anybody else. I know the effects and influence it can have for whatever I'm doing, but I can't not do that because I said I was going to do it. So simple
man,
as that. So
that's a level of discipline that a lot of people don't have, man. Look, people say, "Oh, I'm going to do it," and then they don't. They procrastinate and all these other things. I have challenges with that. I mean, but you're disciplined. Obviously, your drive pushes you, right? I like what you say. You say, "Okay, I have time to do something," and you kind of like, where in priority are the things I
mhm,
can do? What could I be doing right now? And
mhm.
then you didn't write anything down. No, I got to write notes. Man, I'm saying I use the notes on my phone, and
Mhm,
people think I'm all the time just playing on my phone, and they see me like going through the notes, and it looks
mhm.
like I'm scrolling. I'm literally like looking at notes and like, all right, what's gonna be the next thing that I do to knock this off the list today, right? To
That's
make sure
good though. It keeps you stay on top of it more. I feel like I would probably get more done if I did what you do actually. So
I did, man. There's just so much going on, man. You run a wine program.
oh yeah.
Inventory, orders,
Oh yeah.
education, menu updates. Man,
Yeah.
there's so many things. If I didn't put a piece of pen to paper or get a note down, I'd forget so many things. I've done it that way. It's not great
Oh
for you.
yeah.
You got a sharp mind, man.
No, I definitely. A lot of people, a few people can attest to it. Like I'm definitely gonna forget about something every now and then. Like, oh, so you didn't order that, that cab? Like, I mean, I thought I did. I mean,
Yeah,
don't
yeah. No, I did.
put
I did. It
put
didn't
put
show
it.
up.
Yeah,
It's on the way.
boom.
It's on the way.
So, supply chain issues.
Right? Let me ask you this, man. Are you fulfilled with what you do? Are you happy doing what you're doing?
I am 100%. Like I said, I'm not as like I said, monetarily wealthy as I wish I would be, but like I mean, I'm as funny as I've ever been. Like I'm smiling, I'm laughing, and
Good.
I'm still having a good time. Like I said, no matter like my financial situation, like that's how I know like I've reached either a level of insanity or like I'm cool with what's going on right now. So
Good. That's really good. All right, man. We talked about Texom already, man. You coming back this year for the conference?
yeah, yeah, the way the gas set up right now, like
It's rough.
it's
It's rough.
wild right now. But I'm gonna try to. Like I said, it was super invaluable fun last time, and I would love to
Yeah.
see some people again and just see what I could take from it. Like I know last year I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna compete in the song competition next year just so I can just get the experience. Like of course I was gonna do it to win, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, considering Oklahoma's demographics and our high end considered to like a Dallas or Houston or LA competitor, like yeah, they probably got a little bit more experience. Like, but that wouldn't be anything that would deter me from like trying. Like, I'm definitely gonna learn something from. Like, yeah, bro. Like, I didn't know you could do that. So now I gotta mimic you because I thought I could do that, but I don't. Um, but yeah, I definitely gonna look forward to coming back to it. Like I said, it was a good time. Like, a lot of super cool people. A lot of super
Man,
cool people.
dude, don't ever think that because someone's from a different market or a larger market that they've got more knowledge or information than you. It ain't because of the market. It's only because of their drive. So you got to know if your drive is stronger, you are as good, as valid, as important, as solid as any song out there. And that's just what I've learned. I used to think the same thing. Oh man, I'm gonna be in a room with all these people, and I can't. I would play it low key. I play it back. We talked
Right.
about that at Tex on that imposter syndrome, not feeling like you deserve to be in the room next to people that are doing what you do. You absolutely deserve it, and that's something that's here. If you get that out of your head, you in the game, man. It's
Facts.
you are already in the game.
Facts.
Let's talk about this real quick before I go into the hot five. Um, Me and Rachel in Miami, he talked about the limited availability he has with black wine producers and black wine brands. Um, are there any black wine brands, or are there many black wine brands or producers represented on your list?
On my list, yes, I think it was like 3 or 4 months ago. I specifically sought out um, the Brown Estate, one
Yeah.
of the only black owned
Yep.
vineyards in Napa. I was like, yeah,
Yep.
I need something from them.
Hmm.
So I ended up putting one of their blends, the Chaos Theory blend,
Yes.
on our list,
Yes.
and people don't even know it. They just drinking black on, just loving it. And like I
Tell them
said,
about
it's a
it,
hit.
man.
It's a hit. Sweet price point, and like I said, it's quality juice. Like it's
It
not only because
is.
I did it just because like they're black. Like no, like it actually tastes. It's some quality
Really
stuff. Like
good.
it's actually
Really
pretty
good.
good. Like I've taken the bottle home. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you have to go out of your way to find them. They're not just necessarily saturating the market and things like
They're
that. Like
not.
they're not centralized on one part of town or anything. Like they're scattered amongst the bunch, but you literally just have to like find them yourself. Like go like literally find them. So
You know what I say to that, and I appreciate that you go for quality on your program, and I'm sure that your company appreciates that as well. Um, I actually do. I look out. If you tell me that there's a black owned brand, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm on now. Here's the thing: if it's a black owned brand, and I don't believe in the brand, I'm not gonna just go buying it because it's black. That's not gonna happen.
right.
But I am going to give it a shot. I am going to taste it. I'm going to take the time and I'm going to learn about it because it needs that representation. Women winemakers the same.
Yeah.
I really look for that. If you come to me, that's a sell point for me as a buyer. If you come to me and say, "Oh, I've got this winemaker is a woman or this winemaker is black," or yada yada, I'm
Hmm.
going for it. And likewise, if you tell me you got like a French winemaker in California, I'm really looking forward too because now I'm looking at somebody who's probably been trained in Bordelais fashion or Bourgogne fashion, and now they're bringing that expertise into a space where they don't have the regulation of Europe, and they can do what they want with the technology of the United States. I'm looking at that too, but I do actually look for those black wine brands, and it's expected. I think it's responsible for us in front of these programs because when black people come see you, I'm sure it's been asked to you before. Do you have any Andre Mac wines? Do you have any black wine producers? Whoever. So I push it out there, And I'll tell you this, man, the Wade Cellar stuff, the 3 by Wade is quality juice.
Yes,
The
sir.
Andre Mac stuff is quality juice. If you can get
Yes,
some
sir.
Michael Lavelle in the place, those are quality rosés. There's some good brands out there, and there's some really awesome people. Theopolis, amazing juice. McBride Sisters, I don't have to talk about it. You know what it is. So, so look, man. Look, this is Monday Meditations with Juan. I'm here with my man Zay Jones, father, athlete, sommelier, businessman, mentor, um, skinny buff extraordinaire. He's all these things. My man is in place. We're gonna talk about these high five. I ask everybody that comes on the show these questions. Let's dig into it, man. Let me ask you this: if you could share a bottle with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Ooh, I mean, easy response. I would share a bottle with my mother that passed away whenever I was 8 years old in 1999. So
All right.
she is who I would share it with, and why? Because she's not here anymore, and I think this would be interesting to get somewhat drunk with my mother. So
What was your mom's name?
Mary.
Cheers to Mary.
Cheers to Mary.
Let me ask you this: what grape variety or style of wine best describes you?
Oh, easy. That's Nebbiolo.
Okay.
It looks like, but it hit heavy.
All right. That's good. That's good. All right. Barolo, Barbaresco, Longgate, which one?
Barolo.
Yeah.
Austerity. I'm hitting it.
Yeah, King of Wands. Spend some time to get it right. Let me ask you this. Do you have a unicorn bottle? If you could have this bottle of wine, you could die a happy man.
Nah. I just drink whatever. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Open it up. Open it up.
Yeah, I don't have nothing off the top of the head. Like, I don't think I've tasted enough respectfully to say, you know what? I could probably go for a Riesling Cabernet Merlot's Infidel blend. Like, no, I got nothing.
All right. All right. Let me ask this. You got $20. What bottle of wine you going to get?
Oh, $20?
$20.
Man.
I'll tell you what I'm drinking for $20. Chateau Fire has a fantastic little Grave de Vailleur. Now, this Grave de Vailleur, it is in Bordeaux, so you're going to get the 5 noble grapes: Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. For this particular wine, we're going to nix the Cabernet Franc, and we're just going to do more Merlot heavy. So Merlot, then Cabernet Sauvignon, and Petit Verdot and Malbec in equal smaller amounts. Look, this wine is from Bordeaux, and it's Grave de Vailleur, not Grave. Grave would be on the west side or the left bank under the Medoc, and Grave de Vailleur is on the other side of the rivers, really kind of in between Entre-deux-Mers and the right bank. So it's more Merlot heavy, akin to the kind of grapes that are grown on that side. This wine is fresh. It is ready to drink. It is easy to drink. It is no thought. It is also lengthy on the palate. For 20-ish bucks, I think you put your pinky up, you put your nose down, and enjoy your Monday meditations with one. Look, there's no, it's funny because we talk about these $20 bottles. Man, some of these you can get some gems for $20. A lot of the broadbent stuff is a great line that you get for $20. Hell, Andre Mac's Love Drunk Rosé, $20 gets you in the game. There's some really quality juice out there for $20.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do better than that. Whatever you just said, I don't know what you just said. We're gonna do better than that. Hey, look, if you were not in the hospitality industry today, what would you be doing?
In the streets.
In the streets.
In the streets. No, I'm playing. Really? No. I like to think I would have probably given sports another try somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Whether it had been basketball or track or anything, until like my body just gave out and was like, yeah, bro, you're too old. If not that, I'd probably say the oil field. Like I said, it wasn't horrible whenever I did work out there. And
Really?
yeah, it was a good time. Like when you're working outside and things, like whenever it's like raining and it sucks, like it definitely sucks. But there was still like that camaraderie in it that, you know, like, yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere and like this sucks, but it sucks not being alone. So
Yeah.
besides that, yeah, sports, oil field, like I said, the restaurants, yeah.
I guess oil business is big in Oklahoma, huh?
Yeah, that's like our bread and butter. That's Oklahoma was almost founded upon tornadoes and oil.
Hey, so look, I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska, and Alaska is really big on oil business as well. We
Mhm.
did a thing called a permanent fund dividend, where the residents would get a check just for being residents there based on the value of the oil there. Do y'all have one of those things like that in Oklahoma?
Uh, Not necessarily. I know they get what is it, royalties, and well rights depending on like or mineral rights depending on like where they're located at. So kind of if they're on a certain parcel of land and if we're producing underneath there, like yeah, they get a piece of that. So that might be the same thing.
I don't, man. I don't. Look, man. Thank you for your time, bro. I know. Look, it's late. You just got off work, and you took some time to talk to me. I really do appreciate you, man. Thank you, Zay.
Oh,
Um, what can we look forward to from you?
nothing but a good time. Hopefully, I pass these tests coming up, and I can
Yes, sir.
make some funny content from them, and we just keep moving up. And
Yes,
like I said,
sir.
even if I do fail, it's not like I'm not going to take it again and pass it. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to keep taking it until I pass it. So
There you go. There you
it
go.
really don't matter. So it's going to get passed at some point.
That's quality, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the next certified Psalm Isaiah Jones from Oklahoma City. Get there, get to Mahogany Prime, get yourself a good bottle of Chaos Theory. Let him show up, let him show out, let him have a good time with you, man. Zay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Get some rest, man, or crack open them books.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, glad to have you, brother. Peace.
Yes, sir. Bye.